Hey everyone, so I am Boo Boo the Fool, and I kept talking and talking about how I wanted to show you guys how I use Vellum to format with Stoneborn, but then I started making the video and I realized that you could see Stoneborn, like the actual text, and for two reasons I didn't want to film that, because one, spoilers. I don't know how many of you are actually reading my trilogy, but I don't want to spoil it for those that are. But also, this is not a finished product, excuse me, and I don't want to embarrass myself by, you know, showing off unpolished work. You know, it is the fourth draft, but I do intend to keep polishing it, so I was like, oh shit, that's not going to work. So instead, I decided to just go through Vellum and format Stoneheart again, which was the first book, which is out, it's available, it's free, it's been out since 2018, so I'm not worried about spoilers for that one. So I'm just going to start over brand new, like this is my first time formatting it, and I'm just going to show you around Vellum a little bit, and I hope it interests you. Open up Vellum, and these are like your previous projects. As you can see, I already have one for both the first two books. This is the third, but I don't have my cover yet. But what you want to do when you have this open is you go to import Word file, and you have to export anything into a like doc file. And so this is just the original that I used, and it will show up like this depending on, you might have to fix the headers yourself manually. Like I had to do that for Stoneborn, but Stoneheart somehow was fine. I'm not sure how, but so then you know, you would click on my book, that's the default title, so there's your title. This had a subtitle, and obviously it updates over here, and this is viewing it how it would look on a Kindle Fire, but you can change it to like a Kindle Paperwhite or an iPad or like an Android tablet. I just leave it on the Fire because that's the default. You can also look at it, what it would look like in print, but I wait until like later to do that. So then on the title page, you know, and then your contents, which will only show on like the digital version, it won't show up in the print version unless you make it, because you could, that's something you could add yourself. There's a lot of elements that you can add. Like you can add a separate chapter and type it directly in, just so you know, or you can add elements, and these are all the elements. I have not even tried all of them because I only use the ones that, you know, are necessary for me. So, you know, you want copyright page, bam, and it gives you all, this is like automatically generated. This little thing, create it with Vellum, you can choose to not have that, but I choose to have it because the only reason I discovered Vellum is because I saw another author using it. So my boyfriend made a very good point to me about how I should leave that in, because maybe someone is reading my books and doesn't know about Vellum and it would be a big help to them, so I just leave it in now. And then dedication for my family is the default. You know, for Stonesoul, this was my dedication, but you know, you can make it as long as you want. At the end, you can add an about the author page, which is pretty cool. You can put your social medias down here and they'll show up like, let me show you, show up as a little logo. For the cover, you would just, you know, click and, you know, find your cover, pull it open, bam, there's your cover. You won't be doing, like, this is just for your ebook. Your print cover, you do that in KDP itself. I don't know how other things work. I also know that like Barnes & Noble works the same way as KDP, where, you know, you do the cover on the Barnes & Noble website. Styles. And here is where you can pick, let me just go to the first chapter to show you what it looks like. but you have different layouts basically with different fonts. They're all simple, you know, but... And I think there's a way for you to do stuff yourself, but I don't know how. Obviously, I am not a good formatter, so... And you can even do like the first paragraph, like it looks like that, or you can do that one where it's like, oh, there it was, like a big letter to start. Ornamental breaks are really cool. This is a symbol called the Dara knot, and it's very important in my story. And you can basically, there we go, upload an image here, a custom image for an ornamental break, and anywhere you have the 3 asterisks for a scene break, it will fill in this image. And I just thought that was really, really cool and a fun way to personalize it. So that is honestly one of my favorite things about this thing. Header and footer, you know, this is for your print version, so you know what it like looks like. Let me see. Here we go, like with the title up here, or page numbers down here, you know. I think this might be how I did it. I'm not sure. So that's pretty much all of the, I guess, meat of what you're doing, is just making sure your titles, your chapter titles show up. This is an issue where this is technically a chapter, but I don't count it as a chapter because it's in a different character's point of view. But because the heading was different, you know, it doesn't register it. So for something like this, you would want it to be, hold on, like you want it to count it as a chapter, I think, but you don't want it to be numbered. Yeah. So then in this case, you would then take it out of there, come up here, and over here you'll see that the numbers stayed the same. Chapter 24 goes to 25 with the interlude in between them. So that's like a super easy fix. I went over styles. So yeah, that's like the bulk of it. You know, there's obviously, you know, a lot of options. And like, let's say this was done. Let's say this is your finished project, your finished product, and you're ready basically to get the files that you need to upload them onto the KDP website or in Barnes & Noble. Those are the only 2 I have experience publishing with, so those are the only 2 I can speak on. But, you know, so if you're all ready, you would go up to generate, and I swear I clicked on it. It'll ask you to save. I don't want to save this. I already have a version of this. I'm fairly certain I'm pretty sure I've downloaded this before, but Vellum does update a lot, so I'm just going to do it again because it must have gotten rid of it, and I was watching a Bujo video, so forgive me. I did not realize I would have to do this. I am so sorry. Like I said, I know I've done this before. As I said, Vellum does update quite a lot, so I wonder if you have to do this every time Vellum updates, which is a little annoying, but at least, I don't know, you're up to date with everything that you need. Yes, thank you. Now, can I generate? Okay, so, you would select your folder. I'll just make a new folder, you know, test Vellum is what I'm going to call it. So that would be my folder, and then you can choose what you're generating, basically. Oh, I didn't go over print settings. I'm so sorry. I meant to, and it slipped my mind. So you do have print settings. You find them under File, all the way down here, Print Settings, and here's where you pick like the size of your book. They do it in inches, or you can change it to centimeters. I've never clicked on more options. Oh, damn. Oh, you can even do mass market paperback. That's pretty cool. And then you can pick the margins and text adjustments, chapter begin, page numbering. You know, it's fun. This is important if you put like images, like art drawings and stuff. But down here you will see this is where, like, how many pages this book will turn out to be, and if you mess with the font size, it has to recount, obviously. Makes sense. Same with line spacing. So, you know, let's say that's exactly how you want it. So this is where you select what you want it to generate for. You want to generate a print version. Unless you don't, obviously. If you only have an ebook, you would unselect it. But we have Kindle, Apple, Nook, Kobo, Google, and generic EPUB. I'm not sure why all the others are automatically checked and that one's not. I don't care. I am really only here for the Kindle version and the print version, me personally. And then you would just hit continue and generate. And it generates them all kind of at the same time, let you know when they're all done. Print does take the longest, which makes a certain amount of sense in my mind. And bam, done. After that's done, let me find my test folder that I thought I had saved it to the desktop, but I guess I did not. Ignore any friggin' folders. Oh my god, embarrassing. But anyway, so then you would click on it and it gives you, you know, the EPUB, and it separates the cover. It's like, what's the word, optimized for what you're uploading it to, I suppose. But it just neatly packages it up in little folders where you need it. And obviously, like I mentioned, the print one does not come with a cover, because you do that manually on like KDP or Barnes & Noble. And yeah, you can then go through it on, like, this opened in pages, excuse me, or preview, pardon me. And you can go through it and make sure it looks good, and then you would basically just upload that to KDP, and that it's that easy. Like, I know it probably feels like a cop-out to a lot of people, but I do not come from a lot of money, and formatting, like, I already spend so much money to do everything else for my books that it's like formatting is like just the icing on the cake. Like, it is really not what I need to be spending my money on, if that makes sense. And I know, like, I'm not saying, oh, if you don't need it, just skip it, but there are options, and Vellum is one such option. It is a lot of money, but at the end of the day, it's something that you have forever. You can continue to do this stuff yourself, and you don't have to worry about other people meeting your deadlines. So I just think it's a very valuable tool if you can afford it. And I'm not saying that, you know, people who format, I'm not saying like freelancers and such, you know, that they don't deserve to have their jobs, or that you should stop paying them to format your books when you can do it yourself. But I am saying that this is an option for people like me who can't continuously keep paying a lot of money for formatting, you know, and instead can get software like this as a gift that I now have for the rest of my life. So I do think it's a very helpful and very valuable tool, and I would definitely recommend it to anyone who is self-publishing. Obviously, if you are a traditional author, you know, you don't have to worry, because that's basically taken care of by other people. But if you are a self-publisher and you want your books to look polished and you want it to be easy and not frustrating, I would certainly recommend Vellum software. So yeah, that was Vellum, and oh, you can definitely tell I'm wearing a pimple patch. So that was Vellum, and like I said, I do really recommend this software. It kind of just takes the stress out of it, and it's so easy to learn. Like, there's a lot I still don't know about it, but in general, it's very easy to learn. I have published 2 books and I've used it for both, and I just really recommend it if you can afford it, or if you have people in your life who would be willing to buy it for you as an investment in your career. I really would say look into it. Obviously, I know it's not easy to drop that amount of money on, you know, all at once on one purchase. So, you know, no shade if you can't. I probably would not have it if not for my boyfriend gifting it to me for Christmas. So I understand that this is not accessible for everyone, and I am very grateful that I have the privilege of being able to have something like that at my disposal. But, so I don't want to make you like feel bad if you can't get it. Like, obviously, you know, life is life and life sucks sometimes, so please don't feel guilty if you can't get it. Definitely, like, maybe keep an eye on it. They might do like promos or go on sale, and like I said, maybe, you know, you have a family that is willing to pull their money together to gift it to you for Christmas or something. Whatever the case, I just do think it's a pretty nifty tool, so I wanted to share that with you all. But yeah, so I actually already formatted Stoneborn because, like I said, I started it and was filming it before I realized I don't want to show all of this, so I formatted all of that. I've actually ordered my cover art already. I should have it sometime this weekend, which is really, really cool. I also am in the process, of ordering new character art to put at the end of the book because I just wanted to do something special in this book because it's the end. So yeah, and I'm also planning out my NaNoWriMo project, so I will update y'all as it gets closer to Nano and I start to do like Preptober things. So I hope you liked this video. Like, comment, and subscribe, all that fun stuff. Yeah, I don't know. If you have any formatting tips, maybe a website that showed you how to format yourself using like Microsoft Word or even Pages or Google Drive, you know, leave them down below. I am always curious because even though Vellum is super easy and my boyfriend spent all that money on it, you know, there might be a way to learn how to make it look even cooler. So let me know down below where you learned to format. And yeah, I will see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching.